With profound, humble gratitude and love to all venerated enlightened masters, we bow to the Almighty in soulful gratefulness for gifting us with their holy, blessed presence. May all beings be awakened by their divine grace.
Part 3 of 4.
Etc.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nos programas offrent plusieurs langues. Veuillez visiter suprememastertv.com/schedule.
Nuestros programas ofrecen varios idiomas. Visiten suprememastertv.com/schedule.
ਸਾਡੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਪੇਸ਼ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਨ ਅਨੇਕ ਭਾਸ਼ਾਵਾਂ। ਕਿਰਪਾ ਦੇਖੋ suprememastertv.com/schedule.
And in those curves there are found alike right and left, light and dark, mercy and judgment, and everything that has in itself the qualities of right and left depends thence from Microprosopus and not from the ancient one. Please continue watching for more spiritual insights from the Zohar, a foundational Kabbalistic text.
Vegan side effect. Might feel like you are under a loving spell.
Saludos cordiales a todos means friendly regards to all in Spanish, the official language of Uruguay. I am Juan. The amicable Uruguayans invite you to become vegan if you haven't already, to help spread more loving kindness around our planet. With everybody's help, may World Vegan, World Peace soon become a reality. Welcome to humanity's connectivity to the divine. Selections from the Kabbalistic Zohar, Part 2 of 2, on Words of Wisdom. Kabbalah is the ancient mystical school of thought of Judaism. Literally meaning the received, Kabbalah is also an esoteric method believed to have been revealed to elect saints and preserved by a certain few since the time of the Garden of Eden. Kabbalah aims to explain the relationship between God, the unchanging and eternal Ein Sof, or the infinite, and God's creation, the mortal and finite universe. Kabbalists developed their own sacred texts, especially during the Middle Ages. These texts, however, still remained within the Jewish tradition, as they often worked with scriptures from the Hebrew Bible to demonstrate the extraordinary teachings of Kabbalah. One of the most foundational of the Kabbalistic texts is the Sefer HaZohar, a Kabbalistic commentary on the Torah, which means the first 5 books of the Hebrew Bible. The Zohar, which scholars believe was recorded mainly by the 13th century Spanish mystic Rabbi Moses de Leon, presents profound discussions on many topics, such as redemption, prayer, and the nature of God, the cosmos, and souls. The word Zohar means brightness and refers to the light manifestation of the divine. Let us continue with selections from the Greater Holy Assembly, a volume of the Zohar where Rabbi Skimion led a group of holy sages through a discussion on the attributes governing the laws of physical reality as symbolized by the features of Microprosopus. Although the human mind is separate from the divine, it receives sparks of benevolence and understanding from the divine, as symbolized by Macroprosopos, the creator of Microprosopos. In the Zohar, divinity and the attributes governing the physical realm are represented by Macroprosopos and Microprosopos respectively. Macroprosopos is an aspect of divine emanation in the Kabbalah, representing divine will and the source of divine compassion. Microprosopos, which is created from Macroprosopos, is an emanation of the attributes governing the physical realm. In turn, the faculties of the human mind are modeled on the faculties of the supernatural mind of Microprosopos. The Zohar introduces the concept of divine configurations, and in the Book of Concealed Mystery, another volume of the Zohar, the various facial features of Macroprosopos are explained, along with the representation of the divine qualities. In contrast, the aspects of the physical realm and the human mind are modeled after the corresponding bodily features of Microprosopos, along with the representation of the various qualities. Therefore, in our readings today, there will be physical descriptions of various facial features of Microprosopos, along with discussions by Rabbi Skimeon and other holy sages regarding the quality that each part represents, as well as supporting evidence from the Hebrew Bible. Chapter 28, concerning the brain and membrane of the brain of Microprosopos. In the cavities of the skull, 3 hollow places are found wherein is located the brain, and therefore is this brain expanded, and it shines or proceeds in 32 paths. The same is that which is written, Genesis 2:10, and a river went forth out of Eden. Also, we have learned that in the 3 hollow places of the skull, the brain is contained. Out of the first cavity proceeds a certain fountain of the brain in 4 directions, and it goes forth from the skull, in whose cavity are contained those 32 paths which are the spirits of wisdom. Out of the second cavity there goes forth and expands a second certain fountain, and the 50 gates of the understanding are opened. In those 50 gates are contained the 50 days of the law, the 50 years of the Jubilee, and the 50,000 generations wherein the most holy God, blessed be He, intends to restore and commemorate His Spirit in them. From the third cavity there go forth 1,000 times 1,000 conclaves and assemblies, wherein knowledge is contained and dwells. And the hollow place of this cavity is placed between the other 2 cavities, and all those conclaves are filled from either side. This is that which is written, Proverbs 24:4, and in knowledge shall the conclaves be filled. And those 3 are expanded over the whole body, on this side and on that, and with them does the whole body cohere. And the body is contained by them on every side, and through the whole body are they expanded and diffused. Chapter 29, concerning the hair of Microprosopos. We have learned that from the skull of Microprosopos' head hang 1,000 times 1,000 myriad of locks of black hair, and they are intertwined together each to the other, and they are mingled together. But there is no classification made of the locks of hair separately, because pure and impure alike adhere to each other therein. In all those sides which are pure and in all those which are impure, there are intricate and dense locks of hair, some of which are soft, some hard. And in single locks does the hair hang down, curls upon curls, which emit flames, and hang down in beautiful and strong array. The curling locks are parted on this side and on that above the head. Also, we have learned that they remain in curls because they proceed from many fountains of the three canals of the brain. And in those curls there are found alike right and left, light and dark, mercy and judgment, and everything that has in itself the qualities of right and left hangs from, thus from Microprosopus, and not from the Ancient One. In the parting of the hair appears a certain slender path, which has a certain connection with that path of the Ancient of Days. And from that path are divided 613 paths, which are distributed among the paths of the precepts of the law, like as it is written, Psalms 25:10. All the paths of Tetragrammaton are mercy and truth unto such as keep his covenant and his testimony. We have learned that in the single logs 1,000 times 1,000 utterances of the speech of Tetragrammaton are found, which hang from the single logs. Among them some are hard, rigorous, and some soft, merciful, as belonging unto the Lord of the equilibrium, and therefore is he, Microprosopus, said to include right and left. Chapter 30. Concerning the forehead of Microprosopus. The forehead of the skull is the inspection of inspection, and it is not uncovered except in that time when it is necessary to visit sinners for the purpose of examining their deeds. Also, we have learned that when that forehead is uncovered, all the lords of judgment are stirred up, and the whole universe is brought under judgment, save in that time when the prayers of the Israelites ascend before the Ancient of Days, and entreat mercy for his children. Then is uncovered the forehead of the benevolence of benevolences, and it shines down upon this forehead of Microprosopus, and judgment is quieted. Over this forehead there goes forth a certain portion of hair, which is extended over it from the brain, which produces the 50 gates of understanding. And when it is expanded, that brow glows with anger. It is the inspector of the sinners of the world, namely of those who are shameless in their deeds. And we have learned that hair subsists not in that part of the forehead, so that it may be uncovered against those who remain steadfast in their iniquities. And when the Holy One, blessed be he, is awakened, that he may be pleased with the just, the countenance of the Ancient of Days shines upon the countenance of Microprosopus, and his forehead, that of Macroprosopus, is uncovered, and Microprosopus's forehead illuminates, and then is called the rime of benevolence. But as often as judgment threatens, and that forehead of Microprosopus is uncovered, there is uncovered the forehead of the Ancient Ones, and judgment is mitigated and is not exercised.
Reconnect with our innocence. It's so natural to want to live in peace, a global sanctuary where everything lives free. I look to the universe and know that that's how God wanted it to be. Alex Arndt, vegan.
Fair-minded viewers, it was a delight to have your company today for Words of Wisdom. Coming up next is The Watermelon, a Wonderful Fruit, Part 2 of 2, right after Noteworthy News. May the Providence guide you towards hope and contentment always.
Our programs offer many languages. Please visit suprememastertv.com/schedule and suprememastertv.com/WOW.